Hi class, it's Amanda, and today I'm doing the quiz review over these two questions. The first being, traditionally, what has been the main legal difference between an invitee and a licensee? So I pulled this up on Westlaw since you can't see my book. And it states, invitation by owner or occupant is implied by law, where a person going on premises does so in the interest or benefit, real or supposed, of such owner or occupant. And here in the same case, I found a person is a licensee where his entry or use of the premises is permitted by the owner or the person in control thereof, without any express or implied invitation from the owner or occupant. So our choices are: landowners owed a duty of care to invitees but not licensees. In this case, also kind of makes a comment on that one too. Let me see where I saw that at. Okay, here it is. There is no difference with respect to the duty which one owes to a mere trespasser or licensee. So, in this case, with an invitee or licensee, the duty of care would be the same. So our second choice is licensees have a duty to exercise reasonable care, whereas invitees are merely obligated to refrain from gross negligence or intentional torts. Again, they have the same duty from what we read in the case, so that one would most likely be false. And the next one is licensees only serve their own purposes, whereas invitees also serve the landowner's purposes. That would be the correct answer, because here we had invitees, where'd it go? Goes onto the premises in the interest or benefit of the owner. So the owner has a benefit of the invitee being there. And then the licensee is permitted by the owner, but it's basically for the licensee's benefit, not the owner's himself. So question 10 is, under the premises liability laws of Mississippi, what is the Hoffman exception? I pulled it up. It's under comparative negligence, and it states a landowner must engage in affirmative or active negligence in the operation or control of a business before a plaintiff can invoke the Hoffman exception, which imposes upon landowners a duty to exercise reasonable care to a licensee. So our choices are a special circumstance where landowners are immunized from premises liability, special circumstance where invitees lose all rights to recover for premises liability. We know those two are not true. And the third is where landowners are subject to strict liability for injuries on their premises. That wouldn't fall under it, because we're looking for something that has to do with licensees, because that is what it specifically stated in the statute. The next one is where someone who doesn't own the land may still be liable for injuries. So if we skip down a couple, because all these are essentially saying the same thing, just changing a couple of words here and there. But if we go down to, it's a special circumstance where licensees are elevated to invitee status as far as the negligence and the, not so much the duty of care, but I lost my train of thought. Not so much the duty of care, but where licensees are elevated to invitee status, so they have more rights in a sense. And that's what this is stating here. And hopefully I explained that well enough. I know what I'm trying to explain in my head. Hopefully I explained it well enough. But the last was a special circumstance where the statute of limitations is extended, and that had nothing to do with the Hoffman exception. So the answer would be where licensees are elevated to invitee status.